meta. The Ursa is a little bit weird, to say the least, but now, as we do look, they're staying close to that meta. We're seeing a first phase that's very similar to a lot of the things that we see in the tournament. Ench Lifestealer on the other side of Viking. How do you feel about this opening?
Very strong lane. I think there's very few heroes you can put up against this that will do anything. Either you're going to lose to the Lifestealer or you're going to lose to the Enchantress. But doesn't scale particularly well. Lifestealer is not one of the better carries right now. I'd say he's like B tier.
If you combo it well, it can work.
That's
if you
true.
get some Slardar or any sort of a vessel on your mid lane that can carry him into the fights, he
Some
can
Puck
be.
or
He
something,
can be solid. I think it's mostly also because of the Phoenix. You get the built-in rage
Kill
from
the
him,
egg, yeah.
so you can kill the egg. But FlyToMoon, they adapted to the meta, but they stayed in their comfort zone. Not to the meta, to the meta of the series. Let's say they stole the Phoenix away, but it's something that Always Wanna Fly really plays a lot. Like this is their complete comfort zone. Phoenix is Always Wanna Fly is a kind of a player that he likes to die. He likes to feed quite a lot. He likes to be out of position, and when you're Phoenix, you have that dive. You can fly away, flap your wings away, or if nothing else, you can press that egg, and that's your contribution to the fight.
Yep.
So
If you die, whatever.
If you die, whatever. Yeah.
A lot of damage, you know. Always want to die, always want to fly. Same thing.
Yep. They ban out the Mirana too. It's another hero that's really, really good versus the egg, and it's a hero that doesn't care about clock at all. Like you will always leave out. So
Yeah.
they're just dealing with that. Oh,
Bane. Oh, Spiritbreaker insta-pick with the status resist against the grip. And that's an annoying hero to play against as Bane, because you just can't press any buttons on him. He just presses his W.
this means the Phoenix most likely isn't position 5 though. This should be Always Wanna Fly, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It should be Always Wanna Fly playing the Bane and Phoenix offlane with clock, I would suppose.
I would say, knowing these players, that's probably a clock offline.
Actually, yeah. In general, could be the clock as well. That's true.
Just knowing what they like to play.
It's not that great versus Lifestealer, I suppose, but
Yeah. Neither is Phoenix though. It's, you know.
yeah.
He can just rage off of
Off of the fire spirits and rage.
Right. It's like neither is really that
So,
great, but that's Lifestealer in a nutshell.
But for FlyToMoon, you do have this Terror Blade right now. You have this carry that, in my opinion, maybe suits them a little bit better. Again, it's in the comfort zone, but you're playing versus Venomancer. Venom just can't use wards versus you, literally. The whole point of the hero falls apart a little bit. You can still skill Poison and Gale, like you Poison Sting and Gale. You have to change your approach to the lane a little bit, but this lane should be quite simple for the TB as well.
I think so, yeah. Like, as a Veno, TB is one of the heroes it's a bit difficult to lane against. Like, every other hero's Veno, you're just like, oh yeah, I'll dumpster them. Give me 5 minutes. They're out of lane, they're jungling. TB can actually kill you because he summons the illusion of you, puts the, you know, the passive on you, as well as, I think TB obliterates Lifestealer. I do not see any items that Lifestealer can reasonably buy to deal with the TB. It's like Radiance was the old build for him, but people haven't gone Radiance on Lifestealer for, it's been months.
I don't think you go Radiance. Like, when you look at these 4 heroes, first and foremost, who's gonna deal the damage if you go Radiance? Who's gonna give you that right click? And second thing is, you have Spirit Breaker. I think you have enough lockdown to take the TB take him out before he uses Sunder, as long as you go for the right click damage. So your SNY, your Dezo, your Armlet, whatever, Basher, perhaps.
Early game you can, for sure. I think they need a late game solution to TB though.
Definitely.
I think Viking needs, like Zeus. I would be very, oh, they banned Zeus. Okay, I was gonna say, I'd be very surprised if FlyToMoon, having a Zeus spammer on their team, didn't ban Zeus. That would be quite shocking. So let's see, what's a mid laner that owns TB that's meta? Like Tinker's garbage. Zeus banned.
Yeah, the problem for Tinker in this game, I guess, is Clockwork, right? Like, that's something that you struggle against a little bit.
Pretty terrible heroes in general as well.
Some teams have played it in the closed qualifiers. It did work a couple of times, especially when you have a
Phoenix
lot of...
is good against it as well. You just egg the trees and you'll always catch the Tinker.
That's true. It's just garbage in this game, but I think Tinker can work. I don't think it's that bad, but it is still bad.
Yeah, it's one of the roughest heroes for sure. Let's see. Lina actually would have been pretty decent for Viking to clear the illusions. Like, there needs to be something to clear these illusions. I do not see how they deal with the Terrorblade. I think FlyToMoon literally just need to hold out the game, and they're gonna win. If there's no illusion hero that deal, or they snowball. Like you can also just snowball. You can win any draft.
So you think FlyToMoon is going to try to slow down the game, get the TB in a good position to just take?
I think so. If there's no like hard TB counter, but I really doubt they're not going to last pick a TB counter.
What could they grab right now?
Ember would have been solid. Like, let's see, what are the mid TB counters? Like it's really easy. Leshrac.
Yeah, I literally was going to say
Leshrac would be good.
It would be good, but I just don't like Leshrac right now, especially if you don't have any save on your side. Don't have any sustain during the game.
Necro, that would also be good, as Lacoste mentioned off screen. But I do feel like Leshrac is more of a counter to the TB, but Necro is probably better.
Necro with
like
Dumpster Ember as well in the lane. So
yeah, Necro's better for the game, other than the TB. And then it's good against TB, obviously. It's fine against TB.
I don't know. If I'm looking at Boom, I want to see high mobility hero. That definitely isn't Necro, but
a lot of them are banned out. Yeah, that would be. I think that would be more so Leshrac.
Most of the heroes that are good are just banned out. That are good for Boom, and you can see they're taking their time as well. They're really.
There's
deep
still.
when it comes to this.
There's still Void Spirit, which you could pick, but it's not. It doesn't do anything versus the TB going late. You really have to snowball. It's got a little bit of AOE. Invoker, okay. All right. Well, that was actually. I mean, that was. I can't believe we ignored that hero. I mean, it's not the best thing against the TB. You do have the Meteor. Like you've got a lot of AOE, but it's not persistent AOE. It's not like a Leshrac. You can't just walk into any fight and like if he presses his spells and doesn't clear the TB illusions, then. There's really not much to deal with them.
If he goes with the Quas Vex, you will have that high mobility in the mid game that can pair with the Spirit Breaker. You will be able to get the control and tempo on the map, which I think is extremely important when you're playing versus TB. You can't just let him do whatever he wants and get his timings. You're playing against his timings. You don't necessarily have to deal with the hero. You just have to kill the whole strategy that's surrounding him.
I will say as well, this is the closest I think we've seen the odds the entirety of the tournament right now on EGB.com. You want to keep that in mind. And Jenkins, really quick, I feel like all of the focal pressure right now for us watching is going to be on TB.
I think so. I think if he gets off to a good start, if he gets like a 1-2 item advantage, they won't have enough damage with their heroes to kill the illusions. I mean, that's true for a lot of TB games, unless there's a complete hard counter. But I would say I like their draft this time. I really do like their draft.
I agree. I like their draft quite a lot. I love the Clock Phoenix combo. I like the TB and the Ember. Overall, if I didn't see the teams, I would definitely swing FlyToMoon's way.
Yeah.
But I'm still sticking with Viking GG. I think
they look pretty good.
Yeah, they looked pretty good in that first game. I think they'll do some magic here.
Okay, all right. This is interesting stuff, though. I really do feel like even after that first game, we're still in the position where FlyToMoon's draft is making us believe that they can create an upset here and not have a quick 2-0. Because on the way here, everybody was kind of on the mindset that Viking was going to be able to take it. We saw the first draft up until the Ursa, and it was also, FlyToMoon can potentially do it. This time again, all of a sudden, Lizard, seeing that draft, making you confident.
No, this draft I would say is even better than the first one. In the first draft of FlyToMoon, they had that wild card in the Ursa, but this time it looks way better. It looks standard.
All right, well, let's see if FlyToMoon's going to be able to do it. Will they be able to fly all the way to the moon, or will that moon landing be fake again?
Funny stuff. A man talking about fake from somebody wearing a wig, but Lacoste, what do you think? Do you agree with the analysts? The fact that they're going to have to basically overcome being outdrafted with just pure skill?
I would still favor Vikings lineup. I have no clue what the panel is talking about, to be honest. But if we go back, flying to moon, I can see the way they're drafting. It all makes sense now to me. They had Gyro, they had Clockwork in the first game. Now they have Clockwork. How do you get to moon? With a rocket.
You're blowing my mind right now, Lacoste. Literally, I've been casting for a while now. No other analyst has ever brought that point up before.
Well, I wonder why. Maybe because it's dumb.
No, I think it's because you're onto something here.
Maybe they just did not pick the heroes,
That's true. maybe you're just taking advantage of the opportunity presented.
Yeah. So the panel talked about not being able to kill the illusions. You can take over one of the illusions from Enchantress. Enchantress is an insanely good hero, one of the most broken ones at the moment, especially in the laning stage. Like, if you max Enchant, like, your creep has extra HP, extra damage. It's very hard for them to deal with that creep, I would say. And yeah, it's a pure damage in the mid-late game coming up from Impetus. You talked about Lifestealer against TB, your pub experience.
Oh, God. I mean, I wasn't going to bring up my public cost, but let's just say I was agreeing with the panel that I believe that that TB should definitely beat Lifestealer, and somehow my ally proved over the course of a 45-minute game that you just can't beat him. Don't know.
Not
it might
doable.
have to do with actually using your Sunder ability. That might be one of the reasons we lost. But
yeah. Also, I want to see if the TB will get earlier points in Q. I'm calling it Q because I cannot reflect. Cannot remember the name. Yeah. It's great against the Venomancer's passive, but I've also seen Venomancers just completely zoning out TB in the laning stage. It also depends, like, who's paired up with the TB, who's paired up with the Venomancer. This is also Roger playing position 4.
Did you see that? General just got rocket for that. Damn. His level 1 rocket helps Roger get the first blood.
Something that you really don't expect, like Clockworks, 99% of the time, they get that battery assault level 1.
Those always want to fly. They got the early level 2 and they instantly struck. And it was a really beautiful Icarus dive because he actually went right over the top of both of them. Got some pretty good damage in, not enough to get a kill though.
This is something that the top tier teams really like to abuse, where like you get level 2 and you instantly start making an aggressive move.
It's such a dramatic difference. Capabilities being able to fight. Boom! The last pick, Invoker, that the panel was kind of hemming and hawing about a lot of different heroes to deal with the TB. And this is not one of the heroes that they listed, but Boom is doing rather well for himself. Slightly up against the Ember Spirit. Bottom lane, B-Tune, the bash comes in.
Deny!
But the deny from Always Wanna Fly. Smooth play from our Phoenix. And as a result, TB, he'll take a little break here, but he'll manage to come back with full health, full mana.
Always want to deny. Yeah, I don't think you're killing Celery here.
Did you see that? He planted a tree in front of Celery. If only that resulted in a kill, that would have been such a sick play from General.
Roger, position 4 Bane, something we don't see at all.
No.
Like, this hero is picked from time to time, got nerfed a bit, but mostly position 5. Like, this is the hero that doesn't really scale with items, doesn't have any ability to flash farm. So even though he got the first blood, I'm not a big fan of Bane as position 4.
Now, that's where I'm saying, like, your name analysis doesn't necessarily have to be wrong here, because I've got a secondary example. Always Wanna Fly is always playing the Phoenix, man. He's always playing the bird hero. That means they have to play 4-position Bane. For the life of me, I don't know why else they would want to do that besides the namesake.
And V-Tune, whenever he's playing, we have viewers tuning into our stream.
That is true.
What about Iceberg? Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Well, watching his career so far has been a little bit like Titanic, you know? Really optimistic start, but eventually things start going wrong.
Yeah. All right, that was a good one.
We're just joking around here, having some general fun here on the broadcast. Boom. Tornado instantly to remove that Flame Guard.
Heal and the creep. Okay, creep is gone, so that's gonna be a lot of damage on the Enchantress. She might actually die. General Clockwork, like, he was playing the hero when the hero was not considered good, and he played it well.
Yep. This is a man known for his B's and C's. Bat Rider, Beastmaster, and Clockwork. Those are his iconic heroes dating back for quite some time.
Oh
Another
my God,
reflection is this damage, man. Poor Toby. He's not going anywhere. I guess when it comes down to... Iceberg? Bottling between the hits is going to allow him to survive here. I don't think Boom has anything left in the tank. Oh, leveling up Sunray to try and get the kill. Aramis going to turn around. He can charge him. He's going to try and go for the kill. One hit. It's enough with the creeps. Aramis, he mans up and does manage to get the reflection goes out, though. He might actually die to his own reflection. No, he lives just a sliver of health there. The Terrorblade just ran in. V2 tried to get vengeance for his fallen brother.
That was such a strong play coming out from Spirit Breaker. All right, here he goes again.
Well, if it all comes down to what the supports can do, with no support here to play, Toby's just able to get super aggressive onto V2. Fortunately, Always Want to Fly in his death is able to bring a healing salve.
A lot of denies on that TB, 26 and 13. Venomancer only 13 CS.
Yeah, that's the downside of, like, if you can't actually push the enemy carry out of the lane, your damage is kind of poor. Look at him, he's sitting at 53 damage a hit at level 3. Also, he's got no items. That might be another reason.
Bottle, yeah. That's 650 gold. That does not provide any kind of stats nor damage. Okay, 1k gold lead for FlyToMoon already. They're playing the top lane correctly. I've not seen too much out of Lifestealer lately. He has Hand of Midas queued up. I think against DB, you need to have items to like pressure him a bit earlier.
There's kills all over the place. Generation for Iceberg and level 6, so we'll see if he tries to make a play with that. Never mind. Thought maybe TP to a side lane, try and make some plays happen somewhere, but I guess he can't really threaten a Lifestealer. That's one problem. Shad, can they actually catch up to him and get the Nightmare? No, he's too far away. Too speedy with those phase boots. I always want to fly. He's level 5 at 7 minutes they'll cost.
That's insanely good. They also brought Celery. Where's the impetus?
Trying to get away, but Celery was there on the other side. The big bad Satyr.
Oh, this game, Aramis decides to go for a different item build. At least for the boot upgrade. Going for Tranquils. Most of the time, he just gets that phase boots. Extra armor, extra move speed, which is more damage.
Any big reason why you think he changed up the boots here?
I think he just wants to be able to like pressure the lane, not go back all the time. He has 3 TPs. He also had only 2 points in Bash until like level 13 in the previous game, just to max the 2 other spells, which I think could be the same thing in this one.
Yeah, I've been going that same build myself after I checked out Aramis, and it does, like, it feels good to have maxed out charge, no doubt. And then obviously Bulldoze is kind of what gives you that the ability to just fearlessly dive into 5-man.
DB's already gone from the bottom lane, even though like he was getting a lot of CS, he's still gotta feel pressured. Oh, once again they find Jelly. You have Ember and TB with the Jelly that just feels so good. Plus Ardent Talon, okay.
Yeah, this is looking real hot. Always Want to Fly, trying to keep the creeps off the tower, and he's doing a good job right now. If he can actually fire spirits this next wave and try and slow things down even further. No, he's going to hold on to it because he's got General coming in. He's got level 6. He's going to be able to hook onto the Venomancer here and chase him down. Celery was, in turn, trying to finish off the Phoenix, but not going to be able to do it. And Always Want to Fly. While he survives, Celery will die. Roger, though. Viking GG, all those heroes in the bottom lane just kind of means that it is a free kill in mid, at least.
The only one who can make a rotation right now is actually Aramis.
Yeah.
Venomancer wants to sit in the lane, and Enchantress not so great after the laning stage. Invoker's okay, but Lifestealer, he just wants to keep farming.
Yeah, it's a bit concerning seeing this Clockwork so incredibly underfarmed. Or, sorry, the Venomancer so incredibly underfarmed, because that's a hero that cannot afford a bad laning phase. as you do have ways to recover, no doubt, off of neutrals, but it usually comes off you taking the enemy tower. You could see FlyToMoon are putting in all the stops to protect their safe lane tower.
This is a big kill if they can get it.
It is. If they can get it, that's the key phrase here, as V-Tune is going to show himself underneath the tier 1 tower. Celery and Boom, they're going to have to go for Roger instead, but General's here as well. Tornado turnaround. That's a nice awareness there from Boom, but double chained up by Iceberg. Doesn't actually get him inside the cogs, and Boom, well, that Remnant's so slow. Iceberg there's no way he's going to be able to chase him down. Roger, he's going to be found in the corner here. Aramis going for the TP out. That's not going to be good enough. Roger gets out the Brain Sap as well, and Celery's going to die. The intrusion into the enemy jungle goes completely wrong for Viking GG.
Problem is FlyToMoon is getting all the runes. Like, Invoker does not really rely on getting the runes, but so far FlyToMoon is just either like being lucky where the runes spawn, but they also bring heroes to actually control the runes, which Ember Spirit really benefits from.
Yeah.
So Lifestealer is getting that Hand of Midas, more levels. They also got the mirror items, like I talked about the Jelly, they also had the Iron Talon, so all the same tier 1 items for both teams. Gaben says, let's keep it balanced.
Balance in the neutral items. I know everybody's been clamoring for that one.
I remember when you could have 4 neutral items on Huskar.
God, Lone Druids were incredible during that time. General, he misses the hook shot there, blocked by his own range creep. The Tornado's going to keep him from getting on top of Toby for too long. Always want to fly. Bump back, does not have Supernova, so that's going to very long range impetus. The Poison Sting. No, the bottle coming in from Iceberg is going to keep him nice and healthy. 9-3. FlyToMoon continue to prevent any people from dying.
Oh, finally, they're going to get the tier 1 tower on the bottom lane. 4-man rotation, some Venom wards, and a catapult. I'm surprised that Lifestealer's ahead of TB. Like, top lane for FlyToMoon went extremely well. Like, they were zoning out that Lifestealer. We could see at one point he was sitting at the tier 2 tower. It's a deep ward placed on the bottom lane near tier 2 tower from Viking, so that's going to scout out any kind of rotation.
We'll see if that continues, though. Maybe that Midas will allow that Lifestealer to stay ahead here. Attempted Ghost Walk into TP, but Ghost Walk is instant, so immediately removes that invisibility. May not matter, though. Boom. He's in a good position to catch Roger here as he tries to sleep up one and maybe go for a Fiend's Grip. Instead found that he's the one that's going to get ganked.
Viking GG Boom dot joke.
Boom
in Joker.
Joke.
Okay. Not sure what the joke is, but I think they should swap, actually. Always want to fly. Should try to get the farm priority instead of Bane, because like Bane can't really outpush the waves. He does not scale with the items. It's just could be that the players are swapping things out. Interesting build by General. Like a Raid Band. The Raid Band's the best out of 3 right now because it gives armor and attack speed, but he has Boots of Travel queued up. Not sure that's the play. It's a 2,000 gold, it's half your Aghanim. Or you could get a Pipe.
Yeah, Pipe is, or Phase Boots is also really good boots for that hero. They have a nice Fiend Script there, and Celery doesn't actually have anything to be able to stop it, so if the Terrorblade can lay out the damage, they can stop him before he can get out the Infest. A Chains Up is going to be able to allow them to catch more. Iceberg looks to be able to run down Boom, but it looks like that ice wall is going to be a bit of a problem. General, he's going to pose a wall in front of Toby. Puts up the cogs. Back with the chains. Maybe they can still keep on going for Boom. He's a little fast, though. Dive forward. Always want to fly. Going to reveal Boom. Sleight of Fist isn't quite enough. A nice tornado to interrupt things, and Roger actually gets a little bit too far forward. He'll be the one casualty here in a successful fight for FlyToMoon.
Viking, they need to have a spell ready to cancel that grip. Either Spirit Breaker charging, and he's low on mana. They don't want to commit. He's out of has 1 Remnant.
He's got 2 wand charges right now. Always want to fly, kind of showing himself.
Or they need Tornado, or just a Cold Snap. Like Lifestealer, Venomancer, and Chancers, they don't have a single ability that can stop the grip.
As they were talking about early on in the panel, see the odds evening up after that game 1. Viking GG proved to be, at least in that initial game, the stronger team for sure. Execution-wise, they just looked a lot better. Here in the game 2, though, with a different draft, and maybe FlyToMoon warming up a little bit after, as we said, they hadn't played for a solid, 3 weeks.
TB's getting a lot of farm, and I don't think TB cares too much right now about these heroes. Like, he cares about his mana getting burned, but once he gets a Manta style, like, he can get rid of the Cold Snap, Open Wounds, Gale, you name it. And it's gonna be tough for Viking, I would say.
Yeah, once he has that small disjoint, he just has kind of like free Sunder opportunities, right? It's the Lifestealer can range up, but other than that, like, he just needs to be able to get in range of somebody. There's no, like, solid set of disables that brings him, you know, like big nukes that come out and he just, you know, goes from 60% to 0 all of a sudden.
There's not that hero that he needs to really care about just bursting him down. So, like, having enough mana playing around that EMP as a TB should be crucial, because you're gonna get the Sunder off in a fight eventually. And there's a save coming out from Bane. It's not the biggest one in Dota, but sometimes it's all you need.
Dire are scanning.
Toby just kind of poking at him. Nice dodge of the tornado with the sleight of fist. Viking GG. I'm not so sure if they're like, because last time it felt like, you know, they're kind of chill farming on their side of the map, but it was good for them, right? They had the better late game and such. I'm not sure if they're as happy with knowing that the Terrorblade is just getting bigger and bigger. I don't know. We'll see.
It's also a matchup, like Lifestealer against the Terrorblade. 100% of the time, I would pick TB.
Level 5? He's level 5.
He is.
That's a hero that can jungle. My man needs to get to level 6 at least. Take a little me time, Celery. Focus on yourself for once. Really nice reflection. V-Tune is going to be interrupted by Aramis, and his mana is going to be completely burned out right now. The Deafening Blast, he pops wands, does manage to get off the Sunder here. Charge on through. Disarmed for now. V-Tune is finally able to get some damage on Aramis, but the Lifestealer gave him so much extra health. The Spirit Breaker's good for now, and they're actually ready to go back in. If they can get another charge in, the Lifestealer's probably at full health now. Trapped inside the cogs and pushing General out of it. General's trying to walk away from Chad for now. They go back into the high ground. They know that FlyToMoon, they don't really feel comfortable trying to get back up there. Not through that kind of passageway, so it's just the Spirit Breaker dying as a result.
Vikings lineup is not the greatest about, you know, just bursting someone down. They need to reset the fight, play around the Venomancer and the ulti, reset the cooldowns, because they can't really just go in and kill the TB. Like, TB right now still feels pressured when his mana is burned. He even popped the Sundered with the magic wand, but they still need to run away from him. That's the build. Just get the Scotty, tank up, great against the Lifestealer.
Deals with regeneration as well, right?
Yep.
That's kind of why I'd like to see. I always want to fly, pick up a bunch of farm, and get like a later game Shivas at some point.
That's just straight up damage build coming up from Iceberg. Straight into Deso. Phase boots Deso.
I think Jenkins was talking about this, how whenever we have these like custom games come into Dota, it always like puts you in a better headspace for item builds. Like, you really get a stronger understanding of what items you absolutely need to get the most damage in, right?
We're talking about Labyrinth, right?
Yeah, with Aghanim's Labyrinth and stuff. And obviously Desolator is one of those items you always kind of need. In this situation, applying a Desolator debuff to everybody with Sleight of Fist while there's a Terrorblade pumping out damage. It's kind of interesting. We'll see if he gets punished, though, because if he ever gets controlled up, he's kind of dead.
I like to have and see defensive item on Ember Spirit, but in this game, like, he can dodge things. Just a good sleight. He can dodge EMP, Tornado, he can dodge Charge. He doesn't care too much about Enchantress nor Venomancer. Like, eventually he will get the defensive item, but he can afford to go greedy right now.
Yeah, and a team against, like, all slows, as long as you have a Remnant already in place, you are kind of free to do what you want. V-Tune's going to pop his meta again here. Surprising part is Viking GG aren't playing the other side of the map or anything. They're not trying to take that tier 2 bottom. Instead, they're going to go for a push onto mid right now. But this exchange is kind of weird because giving up a tier 2 means that you unlock those outposts and charge on through. There was actually a 4-staff into the team. I think that was Toby's offensive 4-staff, right?
They have 2 4-staffs, one on Invoker, one on Venomancer, and I believe Venomancer was in place to actually use it. One of the reasons why they are itemizing what I talked about, that where they can't just, you know, go in, take a fight, and that's it. They need to reset it, and it's great against the Clockwork. General actually decided to go for BOTs.
V2, he only's got a little bit left, but he tries to go for Celery. Now he's going to be fighting himself. Definitely blasted away. Does manage to get off the Sunder, yes, with a long Fiend's Grip onto that Lifestealer too. Really good control. Now the Supernova on the top with a beautiful charge on through so many heroes. They're trying to get out. They do manage to successfully dodge the stun explosion there. Shad's going to pop back out though, going for General here. That's going to be a free kill. Always want to fly is going to have to turn and Icarus dive away.
It's such a good play from Viking, where they go in, they manage to get the Sunder on TB, and they basically lose no one after the egg. I mean, Spirit Breaker dies after that, but still, it's a very nice play, you know, understanding when they need to go in or get out. And Invoker's the one getting the damage here. Drums 4-staff against the Clockwork, and to be able to take care of himself, and now they need some damage. So, that's so. I don't mind.
I guess. Okay. Not sure how to feel about that whatsoever.
What would you like to see?
Not a Deso, I guess. I mean, it's just kind of weird because all I'm thinking about is this Quatsworks Invoker. Like, you put the Alacrity onto the Lifestealer, you know, like you just kind of let your Lifestealer go ham. I guess Deso amps up his damage as well.
Oh, poor Celery.
He's just had a very, very hard game. Hard life in general. He's going to be met with the same fate that he had last time, which was just getting munched on by Shad. The rest of the team is here, though. They're nicely lined up. Aramis is going to turn and go for, with his ultimate onto Roger. Does manage to give up his life to kill another support. Basically a 2-for-2 trade-off there.
Viking GG still keeping up in terms of net worth, even though these TB is pretty damn huge.
Yeah, they've got the tower advantage on the side of FlyToMoon, right? They've got that tier 2 top. They already took mid, so they're up by a decent amount in just tower gold. So it's surprising that the net worth is basically even.
Scotty is the item that just kills Lifestealer. You want to be moving around the fights, going in and out multiple times, resetting that rage cooldown, but man, Scotty. Like, how do you itemize against Scotty?
Yeah, you really don't have an option. Like, his best, it's going to be more about his play at this point in time, where he has to, like, hijack himself into the Spirit Breaker in order to get on top of these heroes. And then, I assume you, I haven't seen the Lifestealer for a while, but I assume he's building into an Abyssal Blade.
He's going MKB.
MKB? Okay. Yeah, I guess he kind of needs that. He needs that just like consistent damage output because he probably can't rely on being able to burst somebody down during Abyssal, or at least not the Terror Blade anyway.
Yeah, I like the Heaven's Halberd choice. Still, for me, the best item in the game right now. You have that status resistance, you have a miss chance. TB doesn't really build MKB. Like, he just prefers to get like either tankiness or raw damage.
Aramis is positioning himself so he can get a charge in through the side. They're going to use that ward as an opportunity to be able to jump on the Phoenix, but a nice defensive sleep from Roger. And a Fiend's Grip goes off, but there was a tornado, so he immediately canceled it. Roger, he's probably going to die to Shad here unless the chains can help out. They do have chases. What happened to Shad? His HP just started dropping like a rock. The combination of the Ember Spirits putting that Deso on him and V2 just melee right-clicking him down. Shad died in like 1 and 2 seconds.
This TB, I mean, if you're losing a fight to a melee Terrorblade, you know things are wrong.
Yeah.
He's also level 18, so the Sunder. Also, I want to see which talent he's going to be pick up on level 20. Like, Scotty plus Reflection, that's hell of a lot of slow when the rage is down.
Well, this is looking like the panel is going to be correct in their prediction. That's the way I'm feeling anyway, because it just seems like they can't deal with Terrorblade. And I don't think the Lifestealer versus TB matchup gets easier later on. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. Lifestealer has certainly surprised me in some of his late game impact because, you know, just years and years of Dota has hammered into me, oh, this is a mid game carry. And then next thing you know, you see a Lifestealer at 50 minutes, he just never dies.
I don't think that's going to be the case in this game.
No.
Celery going to die once again, 11th death. So he dies every 2 minutes.
Heaven's Halberd for the Phoenix. And that's how, kind of know how this game is going when the 4 position has a nice Heaven's Halberd, which is a nice luxury item, I would say, at this point in time, but not necessary to them winning a fight. Meanwhile, it feels like Lifestealer needs like 2-3 more items before he can even begin to deal with the TB threat.
If they can somehow disconnect Terrorblade for the next 10 to 15 minutes, then Lifestealer might have a chance just battling him in straight up 1 versus 1. Full Daedalus on Ember as well. Oh god. So these slights, they might just end the game here.
I just want to see what happens to Celery.
He died.
Is he going to get one tapped? There's no question he dies. The question is, how quickly does he die? It's like a challenge at this point in time.
They had a meta. They did not want to commit. Okay, Lifestealer cosplaying the Siege Creep.
He just wants to be a cardi. He's having a hard life as a hero in this game, so. FlyToMoon can pretty much take their time. Chilling out, finish up farming. If they really want, they can wait for another Roshan.
They still have a minute left on that Aegis. Yeah. That's why I wanted to see them pushing the high ground. And this is the build I want to see on Bane. Like, not maxing out your Brain Sap. Instead, you max your Nightmare and your passive. Like, after the laning stage, especially if the laning stage is not that great for you, maxing out Brain Sap doesn't give you any value.
Yeah. With the new and feeble, Nightmare has proven to be insanely good. And a nice catch from the trees onto Aramis, which prevented him from being able to get off Bulldoze, so it meant he was stuck in that full duration of Nightmare. And, well, General boots a Traveler, Aghanim Scepter. He says, why not both, as this game has gone well enough for him to be able to do so. Look at that long-range initiation. Reflection has such a range on it at this point in time, and Toby finds himself limping away back to the high ground. The Aegis dies without FlyToMoon going to high ground, so maybe they're just going to wait out for next Roche and just chill.
Yeah, they don't necessarily need to like try to end the game right now. I thought they might do it with the Aegis, try to force a fight. They still had like 1 minute and 30 seconds left. But right now, their late game is much, much better with Ember Spirit and TB. Plus you have this position 5 Phoenix that is getting the items. He's level 15 with Heaven's Halberd. It's a tough one for Viking.
They're just going to have to do a whole lot of sort of hit-and-run tactics, a lot of split pushing. They just cannot take a full 5-man against FlyToMoon. FlyToMoon, meanwhile, will just kind of like cut mid and
one-shot it or not?
Yeah, we'll see. What? All right, he didn't get it. He didn't get a crit. He got a crit. That would have been. Well, that would have been venison.
So Invoker, instead of that Deso that he had queued up, decided to go for BKB, get rid of the reflection. Great against the Clockwork. Now is building Shiva's Guard. It's very tough for Viking like to itemize in this game. You see this item, BKB, that's not a game-winning item here. Same goes for Shiva's. Like, even if he had Shiva's right now, it still doesn't feel like, oh yeah, that's the item that's going to win them the game.
General found him, and it is a 2-for-1 special. If they can actually stay on top of him with the Aghanim Scepter, he's going to be able to get back on top of Doom again. The pushback with a Deafening Blast with the BKB teleport out, but fortunately the Manta Illusions were enough to be able to finish off Boom and get his mega kill streak. He was still holding on to that, so that's an extra 580 gold in V-Tune's pocket.
Thurblade is just popping off right now. Like he has like 7,000.
Celery. And that's the crit, 751 damage. This is one of those like horrible games to be in because you know you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
And the enemy team's just kind of like taking their time, building up more and more of an advantage, making it even harder for them to basically throw the game. Now, one thing is if they do go high ground and say they happen to lose a high ground fight, Viking GG may have the opportunity to actually get a Roshan for themselves.
Okay, so that's a TB with Satanic, Scotty, Crystallis, Manta. Like he is almost full slotted, but Lifestealer we've seen, like he can still man fight him.
Yeah.
Two-shotted. Okay. Thank you, production.
Well done, production.
Dire are scanning.
All right, so we got 2 minutes until Roshan. FlyToMoon, if they want to be the most patient and disciplined team that they can be, they'll wait until that, get Aegis and Cheese, and then go high ground. Roger, though, Bulldoze was up, so the Nightmare's not going to last a super long time. Roger's still trying to get away. Always one of flies here. Up on the high ground, waiting for the rest of his cores to arrive. A Tornado and now Disengage from Viking GG is an immediate buyback from Roger.
That's meta use.
Hey, there's the hook shot going in. They actually caught two again inside with the Infest. Clockwork re-hook shotting in again. This Aghanim Scepter is looking sick. It does cost him his life, but it was a really good fish that they caught. The Shad, he will eventually run out of invisibility, run out of rage. And no need for Roshan at this point. FlyToMoon, they can go for at least a lane, if not two. 70 seconds on the clock with the Lifestealer. Hell, they could just go throne if they really want to test it.
I think they might try to go for one more fight, but this game could just end right here. Clockwork buying back, has hook shot in a couple of seconds. Aramis is just gonna straight up die. Clockwork is doing such a great job. Okay, GG, they're disconnected.
Yeah. This is very, very over.
General had such a great game on Clockwork, just keeping the